What's going on, everybody? We're Reverie Hotline. I'm Octavio.
I'm Mia.
And today we're getting into our first episode.
Let's go!
Let's do it, baby!
Our very first episode of
Oh,
Reverie.
I got a little too excited
had
there.
had a little seizure. Reverie Hotline. Let's go. So, I guess we can talk a little bit about why we're doing this and what the goal is. We should dig a little bit into it.
Yeah, I think we just wanted to start this just to share our opinions, and as we do very often, get lost in our own thoughts, and look to have open and healthy discussions.
Yeah. So Octavio and I decided to kind of start this together. So we could have more meaningful discussions as friends, but also coming from different points of views that we know we do have in a lot of topics. So we wanted to bring those points of views to the table, and also we would like to invite everyone to do the same and actually interact with us. So with our conversations and discussions and share their opinion.
No, we're not always gonna agree. That's...
No. I love to agree to disagree. That's an agreement, though. So that's great. Yeah, so it's also a place for that, right? A lot of times I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, or if you can identify yourself with it, I feel like I have strong opinions that I do try to listen up to other people's opinions, but just because my opinion is different right away, it doesn't get accepted or the discussion doesn't even get started because right away people understand that we differ in opinions, and I feel like that scares a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people instantly think as long as you disagree with them, then it's an argument. I feel like we're trying to make that safe space for ourselves to create that open discussion and take something away from it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just because we don't agree doesn't mean that it is an argument. It doesn't mean that we're not friends. It doesn't mean that we can't come to consensus or even not. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that we disrespect each other. I mean, depends on the opinion.
Yep.
But
we'll get there.
We'll get there, yeah. And so, what are we going to talk about today?
Today, we're talking about exploring ourselves and the importance of self-expression.
Yes. So, what is self-expression for you?
For me, I guess personally, so I've always grown up to be a very shy person. I was always very timid. So I feel along those years, growing up and throughout my experiences in university and high school, whatever, I've definitely had to go through an experience of learning to go outside the box and be a little more vocal on my own expression, my own opinions on certain things. So it's something I'm still trying to learn and develop right now. But yeah.
I can totally relate with what you're saying because when I was young, I was actually talking about this with my mom yesterday, and she was saying, you were always a very rebellious child. And I was like, Mom, when was I rebellious? And she's like, well, in you're 6th grade. And I was like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because when you were saying, I was a shy person, and you, you said, your experiences, university and all of that made you kind of change and adapt. And for me, it was a little harder. I went through a tough time at school, so I was also almost in a way pushed to come out of my shell and stand up for myself and express myself, because a lot of times I wasn't allowed to do it, or I was put down a lot, and there was a time where I was enough, I'm not gonna be quiet anymore. So now I'm this person that just talks about everything she wants. And everybody just gets upset.
Which is good. It's good to a point, as long as,
Yeah. So, it's just expressing yourself is important. Not only, you can still be a very quiet person, right?
Yeah.
But I feel a lot of people forget that if you don't, allow yourself to, open up to others and have other people seeing who you are or who you want to become, through your words, through your clothes, to whatever it is, then there is a part of you that maybe gets lost or even like misunderstood.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not healthy either. But
so if you could compare how you would express yourself like back when you were in like middle school, grade 6, like when people were like sort of suppressing you versus now, like what's the biggest difference?
Well, now I just like,
and even like towards your like behavior and like how you felt.
So before it would be like words of I don't even know what the word is for it. Like it was like always like putting it down. It's like your opinion doesn't matter. Shut up. What are you saying? That makes no sense. Because a lot of times I feel like I do have a different opinion from the majority of people. And I've heard it my whole life. Oh, you're always trying to question everything. Oh, you're always trying to be so dramatic. It doesn't need to be that serious. It's just a conversation. I'm like, I'm not about to be talking about the weather all the time, okay? I'm having a conversation about stuff, and I'm gonna talk about it.
If you want to talk about the weather, see
ya, peace out. No, but right?
Yeah.
It's like I'm not. That's the thing people forget. It's just like just because it's not the popular opinion doesn't mean it's the wrong opinion. Yeah. Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. It's just like, just hear me out. You know, I'll hear you out too. You know, there's space for both, for everybody's opinion.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, maybe it's a bad thing to say, but a lot of people like sort of have like a sheep mentality where they're just like following one thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like what I've learned from you is like actually like challenging those ideas. Especially if like you think something different.
Yeah, I actually had a friend, and he was explaining something to me, and then I questioned it, and he got super upset because he's like, I know about this. This is a topic that I know a lot about, and I was just like, okay, you know a lot about it, but do you know everything? Like, I'm questioning. Yeah. And then he was like, well, that's rude to just question people, and I was like, how is it? How? You. No, right? It's like, no, I mean, it's not rude if you have something to back up what are you saying? If you are so knowledgeable about it, you have definitely something to back up my question, and you can definitely answer it. And if it's so upsetting for you to answer such a question, then maybe I'm questioning if you do know a lot about the topic. Yeah. You know, but more about self-expression, I guess. Do you feel like there are certain people who around who you can't express yourself?
I wouldn't say around people who I can't express myself. I feel like it's more of maybe like you have to like read a situation or like see your surroundings and sort of maybe adapt to that differently. Whether it's work, whether it's around family, whether it's around friends, I feel like a lot of people do have different personalities or different expressions towards each different groups. You know?
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I was mentioning the other day, I was like, I have a personality for every single environment. I have a job, working personality. I have a family personality. I have a friend's personality. I'm a different person depending on the environment. There is environments where it's inappropriate to talk about certain things, you know, or to express yourself in a certain way. Yeah. But why is that? Yeah. Why did we make those restrictions for ourselves? Yeah. You know? I'm like, I understand I'm gonna appropriate myself to this environment and speak in a more respectful manner. But why is that more respectful manner? Like, what differentiates a respectful manner to a not so respectful manner if at the end of the day you're still yourself and you're still expressing yourself, and whatever you say, it's you. Yeah. So, like, why is there a more respectful you and a less respectful you?
Yeah. It definitely depends on like the situation you're in. Like for me, like working at a bar in like a service industry, you definitely have to behave a certain way, and like even like anything with like customer service, if you're like supporting or if you're dealing with interactions with other people and you're serving people, you for sure have to have that, you know, just like a fully different like face, fully different expression, and
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the times, as soon as people are outside of that situation, like as soon as you leave those doors, that's it. You can like flip your switch. You can be
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
again, or a different form of yourself again.
Yeah. It's interesting because then are you yourself all the time, or are you different people, or are those different people you? So like are you multiple people in one, like, you know what I'm trying to say? It's like, can
Yeah.
you break yourself down into what you are, or is it like a
I,
whole?
I feel like all these different expressions that are myself, I feel like all of them together, I feel like they all make me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like one is more than the other. I feel like, because I was just gonna say, but because I have to adapt to those situations. But what if that wasn't there? You know?
Yeah, what if you
What
weren't
if
you weren't in that
yeah, what if
situation?
yeah. Mind blown.
Mind blown. Right? No, but that's true. It's like, are you really yourself in certain situations, or are you just like pretending to be something else because society has told you you are supposed to act a certain way in that situation, you know? And is even that situation appropriate for you to be in? Okay, let's talk about like, what are situations in self-expression that completely neglect who you are as a person?
This is
That's
this is
that's
a
a
big discussion.
hard.
This is a big discussion because I actually recently seen sort of like relates to this topic. Big Mouth, like the most recent
Yeah.
season. Missy, I think Missy, she's like trying to like be like self-discover and like.
I think I can make Missy's voice.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear your voice.
Okay, so
y'all getting some ASMR Missy right now. Missy voice
I
impression.
did it the other day and now I can't remember what Missy sounds like. Hi everybody. I hope that you guys are enjoying this podcast.
Holy shit.
And
if you could keep that up for this whole part.
You want me to talk like this?
No, never
the
mind.
whole
That'd be a
time?
little weird.
No, I found out randomly. I was talking to my sister and then I did this voice and I was like, that sounds like Missy. Oh my god, that's crazy. Anyways,
yes.
It's funny you said that. Sorry.
So,
getting lost in thoughts. Alright.
Missy was on this venture.
I was?
Self-discovery. Yes, you were, Missy.
Alright, so tell me everything.
So when you were meeting up with your, I believe it was your cousins from like downtown New York, they were talking about having I believe it was a code switch, and a code like obviously they're people of color, so I feel like they were talking about being in like a certain surrounding. If you're like around white people, if you're around whatever, I feel like a lot of black people have had to have that like color switch, whether you're like changing your language, your diction, or even like your mannerisms. And I feel like that's like a big thing that takes away from my own self-expression.
Yeah. So, okay, because like a lot of people say, oh, stop acting black, stop acting white.
Yeah.
And like there's these labels for what people are regarding their color too, which is not acceptable, right? And yeah, I hear you out. Like it definitely, I mean, I don't know for like my own self, but I'm pretty sure that it would change how you even feel about yourself too.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Would you say like do you feel like you stay true to yourself in those situations still?
I feel like now, like obviously for me being like shy and like a lot more timid when I was younger, I feel like now I am challenging like those ideas a lot more. So like I am slowly inching and like not testing, but yeah, it's sort of testing the waters essentially and seeing like what is more acceptable now.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's like what's acceptable, I guess, are like there's a lot of old rules, right, to what is acceptable and what is not. And I feel like this year and last year and like just like these last years, we've been trying to break those constructs and fight them back, right? Yeah. But it's like it's still such a fine line because I find myself sometimes acting that way where I think it's inappropriate in certain like places to be a certain way, but then I start questioning. It's like, but am I stopping myself from being who I really am? Because like I never feel honest with myself when I have to maybe bite my tongue sometimes, you know. But then like is that me also allowing other people to express themselves and or like having a safe space for everybody? Like is me biting my tongue a way to do that properly? Like is it not? Like sometimes I feel that we stop our self-expression uh, for the other person, but we're labeling that other person already, as in that person won't accept me this way, so I'm gonna act a different way. But what if that person did accept you in that way, you know?
It's actually crazy you mentioned that. Like, I feel like a quote that I heard the other day that sort of goes along with that is, I think some people are scared of having an opinion because of other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like, why are you gonna like suppress your own opinion because of what someone else thinks?
That's crazy, and I feel like that's exactly also why we're here today, right? And why we're talking. Like I feel like I felt that a lot, and I probably have done that to other people a lot, where like I opinate so strongly that people are just like scared. Maybe that's wow. You know, that's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah, because like maybe sometimes it's not people don't want to get into the discussion. Maybe sometimes it's the approach, and people are scared to get into the discussion, or like they won't.
Or they're scared of what might come of it.
Yeah, what might come of it, or if their ideas are gonna be accepted, if like they see such a like person coming at them with like all of this ideal of what they think is right or not, and then they're like, oh damn, like can I even talk to this person? Can I even express myself?
See, I feel like that's a bad thing though, because I feel like without having, like, depending on the situation and depending on whatever the people are talking about, I feel like without having those discussions, you're not gonna get anywhere, right? You're just gonna be like trapped. You're just gonna have those like your own opinions, and it might not be true.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like it's so important to express yourself no matter what. Maybe like depending on the environment in a different way, but still be able to stay true to yourself and to your ideals, and regardless of what other people think or do, to be able to find a good place and a healthy place to discuss that or to have those discussions. And at the end of the day, it's important, like you're saying, because you open up your mind, and we're not at like a stable self, right? We're always evolving, we're always changing, we're always opening up if we want to, if we allow ourselves to. Because that's the thing too. It's like if we don't allow ourselves to open up to find out new things, to have discussions, we will be stuck in what we think we are, and we will be that person forever. I mean, that's who we are. But that's the thing too with self-expression. It's always evolving, it's always changing, right?
What's one way that you like to express yourself now that you may have not before? Maybe besides your voice, besides voicing your opinion.
Instagram. Oh, what?
Okay.
Besides your voice, Instagram stories.
to voice your opinion.
To voice my opinion. So listen, everybody. Today I drank a milkshake. Look at this milkshake. It looks so cute. So that's me expressing myself. I was like, oh my god. Like sometimes I come out there and I just say the most like ridiculous things, and people are like, "Please stop." And I get that a lot, you know, like, please stop. Oh, there's so many stories. Like, what the heck? And then I always say, it's like, it's not for you. If you're tapping or swiping, it's not for you. So just swipe. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't need, like, you know, like, there's a time for negativity, and there's time for never having time for negativity. And that's the second option for me. You know, like, don't come at me with your negative thoughts, you know? It's like, I have a lot of people also reaching out and being like, Mia, I was having a shitty day and this made my day. Thank you so much. And that's why I like to express myself there and do that. What's another way to express yourself? I would love to express myself more through my clothes.
That's probably mine.
Yeah.
The same way, yeah. Because I feel like like I always like to go thrifting and shit, but like I feel like I never like to have clothes that other people have.
Oh, you're one of those. Like, he'll change his clothes. If you come out with the same shirt, he'll go around naked. Honestly. He don't care. Not wearing the same shirt.
No, I just like to have unique stuff, and you know, I feel like a lot of things that I don't know. It's just being comfortable with what you like. I feel like that's a nice way of expressing yourself.
That's the thing too. We're all unique, right, in our own way. But what is with that? Like, people always like really forcing themselves to be unique. Like, I'm this unique person, and I feel like a lot of us get stuck in this, you know, like this self doubt, because then it's like, oh, like I'm just like everybody else. I'm not unique enough. I need to be more unique, or I need to do more things. And then you look to the next person, and then you're doing the same things, and then you're like, damn it, like I don't have a different thing to myself. And there's like all this self-doubt and self-expression, right?
So I feel like that these two things go hand in hand, having the self-expression but also like having like putting on those blinders. And this applies to like a lot of things. Just like worry about yourself, don't compare yourself to other people.
Yeah.
I feel like that helps with it.
Exactly, which is important, because
then you get lost. Then you get lost into like comparing yourself to other people, and like, oh, I gotta keep switching it up, whatever.
Yeah. Do you have fear to express yourself? Do you fear your own self-expression?
Like just in terms of behavior or how I dress, or
in general, exactly. I guess we can start generic.
General Kenobi. That was so bad. That was such a bad impression. You don't even know.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
But it was so bad.
Please don't do that again.
Listen here, Missy. A fear. I feel like the fear might stem from not fitting in with whatever crowd or whatever situation you're put in, especially like when you're younger. I feel like that's very much so, especially like there's always those different groups in middle school, high school, whatever, and maybe not fitting into those certain like scenarios or those certain crowds. I feel like that can be a major fear for someone.
Yeah, I can totally like identify with that. And I was like, for like a lot of years when I expressed myself, like there was like a lot of negativity in that expression from others. So then there was a time where there was fear from expression.
Yeah.
But it's also, I feel like, the beauty in breaking those limits for yourself, you know, is to really like look into yourself and understand that everybody has the right for self-expression, and if they do it, what makes them, or what gives them the right to tell me I can't do it? And it's them is usually the majority of people who have very similar self-expressions. But then again, going back to what we were talking about, nobody is the same, right?
Yeah.
But if like a lot of people go and act and do certain things in this very similar way, and that's the majority of people, then what you were saying is like you can get excluded from that conversation and not be accepted. Yeah, fear definitely of unacceptance from others. There is a long history of outcasting what's different. Culture definitely plays a big role on that.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say culture and also age. I feel like a lot of maybe in terms of like how you want to express yourself or how you want to dress or behave, I feel like a lot of the older generations they're fixed on this like certain mindset, and if it's not that, then you're weird, then you're gonna be outcast.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that, even like with age. As I grow, like as a child, I would look up to older people, and I just feel that that's the right way, that's the example set, and that's how you should be doing it. Like even like the lifestyle, like get a job, get a house, get a car, have babies, or marry, have baby, like do all of that. And that's like not really, that is self-expression too, but it's not what makes you. It helps.
Yeah.
But
that ideology goes along with like the sheep mentality, because everyone was doing that.
Yeah, right. And then it's like I have found out, and and like asking myself a lot, it's like, is that the life that I want to have? It's like, is that how I want to live my life, and how I want to spend the rest of my days, and how I want to express myself even throughout my work? Is that like the right way, or is it a way that the majority of people accepted, and that's the easy way for the majority of people, and that's just like, that's okay, but is it how it's supposed to be, right? And I've found that none of us know.
No. Yeah.
And the fact that like everybody just pretends that they do, it's like we don't know, like we're talking but we're still trying to figure it out, right? But like adults, or like we're adults now, but when you're younger, it's like they're trying to guide you, and they're trying to like tell you what's right from wrong, and do these things and don't do the other things, and they're molding you to who you are as well. Even like if you have your own personality, you're still being molded a little bit, but they themselves are still trying to figure out their own path.
They're just teaching you based off their own experiences.
Yeah, and what we have to understand sometimes, but as young children who are not even getting like in contact with these questions, or are not stimulated to, what we have to understand is that we shouldn't be taking everything for face value, and there's a lot of things that are okay to be questioned. And because like even our parents, our mentors, they question themselves every day, and they keep going, and it's that like truth, like the really big truth that I know and I'm gonna share with you, and it's just like what stays. There's a word I'm missing, but the absolute truth, that is not really the absolute truth, but we just all accept it to be. And then we all kind of tend to express ourselves in a very similar way because of that. But to understand that even the people we look up to, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like even the people that we look up to are also like trying to express themselves and having struggles with that. And every day they're trying to be better people, or not. But, like everyone goes through the same thing. And I feel like that's very important to mention, because I found myself a lot of times feeling very alone in this looking for who I really am.
Yeah, and I feel like adding on to that topic, I feel like a lot of people are taught that like life is gonna be like this one path. You're gonna like go to school, you're gonna get the job, you're gonna marry somebody, you're gonna get the house, and like that's it. Like that's how life should be.
Yeah.
But what they don't tell you is life is like this. It's like a maze. It's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of obstacles that are gonna stop you, but you gotta choose like whether you're gonna overcome them, and all these little things that do happen. I feel like that builds your sense of self and your expression.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. And I have no words.
So what one last thing? What's one thing you'd want people to take away from this?
Okay. So even like going back once again to self-expression, and actually like touching on what you just said, there's a lot of things that you will want to do, and don't stop yourself from doing those multiple things. A lot of us think that we need to go and do one thing for the rest of our lives, be a doctor, be whatever, you know? Yeah. That's not true. We need to understand it's okay to be something else if you want to be something else. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to go take another course at community college, university. It's okay to take an online course of something different from what you're doing. I struggle with that, and maybe that's also why I want this to really be like talked about, because a lot of times I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I like doing a different thing again? You know, like why can't I just find that one thing that I want to do? But it's just like, I don't have one thing I want to do. I want to do all the things. Yeah. There's this test in Portugal that we do. I'm Portuguese, by the way, for everybody that don't know. And I lived in Portugal for I always say I'm Portuguese. It's a moment I will have to mention I'm Portuguese. I'm Portuguese.
By the way, I'm Portuguese.
So I'm Portuguese. And in Portugal, we have this test done in grade 9 to kind of figure out, because in grade 10, we have to already kind of know if we're going into the sciences, the arts. It's
almost like a career aptitude test.
Yeah, exactly. You guys did here as well. Okay, cool. Yeah. So we do that test, right? And everybody had something very specific, right? And my teacher just turns to this girl in my class, and she's like, so you're the only student that knows exactly what they want to do. And then she turns to me and she was like, and you're gonna have a little bit more of a harder time because you can do anything according to this test, you know? And it was just like, I wasn't restricting myself to one thing, you know, and like answering according to that. I was just like, the test would ask, do you like this? I was like, yeah, I like that. Yeah. And then, do you like this? Yeah, I like that too. You know, and I was just like going like that. It's like, why am I gonna like, you know, try to like funnel into something? But I also understand it's important to also try into funneling into something very specific, because the way and correct me if you think I'm wrong, it's like I feel like the way the universe works is you have to have one goal at a time and work towards that goal, and you will be able to accomplish it and to actually like get there. So like the same goes for like even like maybe your self-expression. It's just like have one goal for yourself, you know, for what your self-expression is, you know, whatever it is, have a goal for yourself and work towards being that person. And I feel like the mix of whatever you are and even like the different environments that you're in will really like make you who you want to be. Yeah.
Wow. Well said.
Wow, thank you. So this is my TED Talk. Yeah.
We'll see you every Thursday.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess this is it. And guys, if you want to share anything, if you want to like contradict everything we said, please do. We are here for that. That's what we want to do with this space. And let's go. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Okay. Anyways, goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening. I'm Mia.
I'm Octavio.
And it was a pleasure to have you here today. Goodbye.
See you.